Right, kia ora everybody, week 2 now. We have a day off, it's Monday, and we are in Cologne for our show tomorrow night. So we've got the afternoon here, we're going to walk around and see what we can find. This isn't actually my first time in Cologne. We passed through here on the first summer tour with Gojira, transiting towards Hellfest, but it's a whole story on its own. But we got out of the train at like some god-awful hour of the morning, and when we came out of the train station, there was that incredible Batman cathedral outside the train station, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. But then we were very quickly moving on to our next destination. But now that we're here again and we actually have time, goal number 1 is to go see it again in daylight, properly have a look at it, and not have to be rushed out. Right, after probably a pretty solid amount of time in the beautiful cathedral, we're back now at the venue, which is our location for the rest of the night. Our tour manager got us a day room, which is common occurrence, so that we can all have a shower and use the bathrooms and all that when we're parked at venues, because normally the venues we're not allowed access until the actual day of the show. And currently today's the day off, the show's not until tomorrow, and so they just find the nearest cheapest hotel and just book a one bedroom so that we can all go and freshen ourselves up on a day off. And now it's time for dinner, and then I'll probably just chill on my bunk and watch movies for the rest of the day. That's day 1 complete of week 2. All right, day 2, week 2 in Cologne again, still I should say. Our show is this afternoon, but we're just sitting outside the venue for a few hours. This particular venue will not let us in any earlier than we need to be. So just a quick stop to the grocery store. By the way, this stuff here, the Mezzo Mix, bro, it's about the best thing that ever came out of Germany, dude. I love it every time we come here. It's my go-to drink. Funny story about yesterday while we were walking around to the cathedral. I had this funny run-in. You know, I'm no stranger to strange interactions because of my face. It just comes with the territory, and 99.9% of the time they're relatively positive interactions. But yesterday we had a funny one. In the train station, we just went up to buy a ticket and figure out, like where it is that we're actually going. And the lady behind the counter was like, "Oh God, you're really scary. I would hate to see you at nighttime in the dark. I hope you don't live here. I would never let you buy a house in Germany. I don't think you'll ever get a job in Germany too." I was like, "Ma'am, listen, trust me, I don't live here. I have a perfectly fine job, thank you very much." And she kept going on about it, man, about 10 minutes. And I was with our drum tech at the time, and he was trying to be diplomatic and nice about it. And I was just kind of ignoring it. I was like, "Ma'am, I just want to buy a ticket, please." And she was like, "God, my son got his hands tattooed and I nearly disowned him. I couldn't even imagine if it was the face." So that was a fun little interaction from yesterday that I forgot to tell you all about. So for our next 3 shows, we actually have 3 shows in a row, and tonight I think I'm going to have to pace myself because my neck is still super stiff from the first 2 shows, and that'll be because we didn't really rehearse. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the previous vlog, but Henry actually broke his ankle before this tour, so we came onto this tour basically raw. Like, I rehearsed at home my instrument parts, but I never got to get in the full physical rehearsal. So first show, second show, neck is like this. Yesterday I had a day off, tried to rest it, but it's still pretty tender today, so I'm going to try my best to just kind of pace myself while trying to perform as good as I can, because we've got 3 shows in a row and I don't want to hurt myself, so we'll see how it goes. Good morning. Week 2, day 3. We are in Hanover. Our show last night in Cologne went great. I actually forgot to film it, so you're just going to have to believe me. Feeling very sore, man. Feeling super sore. The neck is about as stiff as it could possibly be, but managing to fight through. This is the downside to not having much rehearsal, of course. But it's about 9:30 in the morning, I think, and I'm just about to get an Uber into town to see, as per usual, what I can get up to kill some time before 3 p.m. when we get into the venue. So let's have a look. As per usual, I have found a museum. So that one right there, we're gonna go to. I actually think there's like 2 or 3 museums in this area. But first, I don't know if you can see it back there. It's the very tippity top of a very cool building that I'm gonna check out first. Snakes are my favorite animal of all time, but you may not know that they're actually illegal to have in New Zealand. Full stop. We don't have snakes in zoos or anything. Nobody is allowed snakes, and of course that meaning they are not native to New Zealand. So anytime I'm overseas and I get the opportunity to see a real snake in the flesh, it's like a childlike wonder, man. How cool is that? Right, that was a nice little museum, and now right next door in front of me is an art museum. So let's go in there and see what's in there. And that art museum was pretty cool too. I mean, that first hall I was in is basically all Picasso, and I've never really seen any real life Picasso paintings until Eindhoven the other day had one in that art museum I went to, but this one had a whole bunch, and some of them in there, I don't think I realized, like he also had like normal paintings, like paintings that don't have the whole like distorted Picasso thing going on. So that was pretty cool. That's 2 museums ticked off this morning. I've spent a few hours out and about, and now I think I might waddle around for a little bit and then try and make my way back. See if I can't find the train. I took an Uber in this morning because it was easy, but I always like trying to find the public transport because it's a bit more adventurous. So let's see. This is another cool thing about coming over to Europe is, I don't know exactly what that is, raven crow, something else, but we don't really have any of those in New Zealand. Blackbirds, pretty cool, man. I'll tell you right now, Europe, there hasn't been much of a summer yet. Woo, I should have worn my hoodie today. It's pretty cold here in Germany. God damn. Lo and behold, another church. So me and my mate Dan used to work with us. He used to be our drum tech on the road. He no longer works with us, but when he did work with us, we used to go out on what we would call a mish, aka short for a mission out and about in all these new cities. And one of the things that we would look for is what we have dubbed the pointy fuck. Very, very pointy European buildings. And so every new city I'm in, I try find the closest pointy fuck and I send them a video. So there's pointy fuck acquired. These big underground subways will never cease to amaze me, man. Like layers and layers and layers and layers of different trains to catch. Let's hope I don't get lost, man. And I've made it back to the venue. Dude, that was a great little adventure out this morning. There was actually a lot to do in the Hanover central city, so feeling good about that now. Just chilling to the show, really. Look at our bountiful green room today. Although that is empty for now. Hell yeah, dude. All right, we've skipped a day. It's day 5 of week 2. I was just in no man's land yesterday and didn't film anything other than the show. Just woke up, stayed in the bus, sat in the green room all day, did some washing and kept it simple. So we skipped the day, so don't worry, didn't miss out on much. And we have a day off. Henry is currently getting a tattoo in some small German village because a fan he met on the last tour is a tattoo artist and gave him a tattoo on the last tour in some hotel room, and now this time we're actually where she's from, because our show last night was nearby. So he's doing that. We got a few hours to kill. There's supposedly a whole castle somewhere around here. So we're gonna find the train station and see if we can't find a castle. You know, this is one of those things again about being in Europe that I'm sure the people that live here take for granted, is like cool bits of history like that, you know. So now we've got to find our way back to the bus. I think Henry's tattoo is nearly finished, and then I think we're heading on to Munich for the night for our show tomorrow. Day 6, week 2. Good morning, everybody. We are in Munich. We got here very early this morning after Henry's tattoo took a much longer than he initially planned. But we had a great day exploring the castles and all that. And I've already been to Munich. I've seen quite a lot of Munich already. So I thought I would use this day to get the washing done. All right, washing successfully cleaned. Oh, it feels good already. And we didn't get a shower yesterday, so I already feel disgusting. And the sun is absolutely beaming on us here in Munich today. I'm finally starting to feel the summer of this tour. However, I won't take it for granted that we managed to get at least 2 weeks before it started to feel like summer. You know, the least summery a summer tour is for us on the road side of things is just perfect. Okay, so now that the summer is finally starting to show itself, it starts to get a little bit more tricky, especially when you don't always get a wash and everyone's in the bus all stinky. So getting some nice clean washing is like your first Christmas present on Christmas Day. Alright everybody, and that brings to an end week 2. You didn't get much of day 7 because I spent most of it traveling, so I was in my bunk watching movies all day. So here we go, on to week 3.